Yes, so yesterday we have studied about torque and the various expressions of torque we have determined. Okay, in Cartesian coordinates, in polar coordinates and so on. So we have determined the various expressions of torque. Okay, in vector form, this torque can be written as torque vector is equal to R cross F vector. Tau vector is R cross F vector. Okay, in Cartesian coordinates, the tau vector is written as in Cartesian coordinates. If R and F are lying in the xy plane, then tau will be along z axis, and this is equal to x fy minus y fx. Okay, R and F are in xy plane. So tau is equal to, this tau will be along z axis and it is equal to x fy minus y fx. Okay, then in polar coordinates we have found out the expression of tau in polar coordinates is r into f into sine phi, where phi is the angle between r and f. Okay, and that is why we get it as tau vector is equal to r cross f vector. If we know that AB sine theta, theta is the angle between A and B vectors, then C vector is equal to A cross B vector. So the same way, R F sine phi, the phi is the angle between R and F vectors. Okay, then we had drawn one perpendicular from the axis of rotation to the line of action of force. Okay, then we get tau is equal to this force into the perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation. Force into ON distance, which is the perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation. This perpendicular distance we represented by ON. So tau is force into perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation. Okay, also we found that tau is equal to R into transverse component of force. Okay, then we resolve the force along the r vector and perpendicular to it, which is the transverse component of force. So tau is also equal to r into transverse component of force. So these are the various expressions of tau which we have derived yesterday. Okay, so tau is in vector form r cross f vector. In Cartesian coordinates, x fy minus y fx. In terms of polar coordinates, if phi is the angle between r and f vectors, it can be written as tau is equal to r into f into sine phi. Okay, and this is also equal to force into the perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation. This r sine phi is the perpendicular distance ON, okay, which is the perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation. Okay, and also we have seen that tau is equal to r into transverse component of the force. Okay, due to radial component, there is no torque on the body. Okay, so torque is only due to the transverse component of the force. Okay, now let's discuss few cases, or let us try to understand the physical meaning of this torque. Okay, this torque will be maximum. Okay, or torque will be more if R is more. Tau is equal to, first case, tau is equal to R into F into sine phi. Okay, if F and phi are fixed, then tau is depending upon R. More R, that is more the position vector, more the distance, then the tau will be more. So more the distance, more R, tau will be more. Okay, that is why the wrenches have long arms. Okay, the wrench, which is as shown in this figure, this is a wrench which is used to open the nut or anything. These are having long arms, So that R should be more and the tau should be more. Okay, the nut is fixed in it and this is rotated. So more R, more will be tau. That is more easily it can be rotated. So that is why the wrenches have long arms. Okay, hence, okay, write it in the same manner. Hence, wrench has a long arm, so that R is more and then the tau will be more and it can be easily rotated. So wrenches have long arms. Okay, or a wrench has a long arm so that R is more and the tau will be more. Okay, now the second case, from here if R and F are fixed, tau is depending upon phi. Tau will be maximum when sine phi is maximum. Okay, and when is sine phi maximum? When phi is equal to 90 degree. So the second case, tau is maximum when phi is equal to 90 degree, or when sine phi is equal to 1, that is phi is equal to 90 degree. That is the angle between R and F should be 90 degree for tau to be maximum. Okay, the angle between, write it in the same manner, tau is maximum when sine phi is maximum and the maximum value of sine phi is 1, that is phi is equal to 90 degree. Okay, now for example, when you open or shut the door, where do you apply the force? The force is applied, this is the hinge, the door can rotate about this hinge. The force is applied perpendicular to the plank of the door. How is the force? Whenever you open or shut the door, how do you apply the force? You apply the force perpendicular to the plank of the door. Okay, this is the direction of the force and this is R. So the angle between R and F should be 90 degree to get maximum torque. Okay, so write down when the door is open or shut, when the door is open or shut, the force is applied perpendicular to the plank of the door. The force is applied perpendicular to the plank of the door so that phi is 90 degree. So that phi is 90 degree. So that phi is 90 degree. Okay, because this tau will be maximum and maximum rotation, easily it could be rotated. So for maximum tau, phi should be 90 degree. That is, the angle between R and F should be 90 degrees so that maximum tau can be obtained. Okay, also the first case could be seen over here also. R should be more. Okay, whenever you open or shut the door, where do you apply the force? You apply the force at the edge of the door. Okay, you are not opening or shutting the door by applying the force over here. How do you apply the force? You apply perpendicular to R and also you apply the force at the edge of the door. Whenever you open or shut the door, you will open it from here. Okay, you will apply the force at the edge of the door, not at point here. Okay, so the force is applied over here. Okay, so write down R and F perpendicular that you have written. Okay, now write down while opening or shutting the door, the force is applied at the edge of the door. The force is applied at the edge of the door so that R is more and tau is more. So that R is more and hence tau will be more. Okay, so that R is more and the tau is more. So whenever you have to open or shut the door, you apply the force at the edge of the door. And how do you apply? Perpendicular to the plank of the door. That is, the force should be perpendicular to R, so that the angle between R and F is 90 degree and the tau is maximum. Okay, and also R should be more. You cannot open or shut the door by applying the force over here near the hinge. If you apply the force, it would be difficult to open or shut the door. So you have to apply at the edge of the door so that R is more, and also the force should be perpendicular to R. Okay, case 3. Okay, if you apply the force parallel to this R, would you be able to open or shut the door? If you apply the force along this direction, okay, this is what the radial component of the force. Okay, this along R vector, what is that component? That is the radial component of the force. Due to radial component of the force, the tau is 0. No tau is applied due to the radial component of the force. So if you are applying the force parallel to the door, parallel to the plank of the door, you won't be able to open or shut the door. How do you have to apply the force? Perpendicular to the plank of the door. Then only the door can be rotated about its axis of rotation, that is about the hinge. Okay, if you are applying the force parallel to this R, that is parallel to the plank of the door, you won't be able to open or shut the door. So what is the angle between R and FR? This component we call it as the radial component. So what is the angle between them? 0 degree. And tau is equal to R into F into sine phi. Okay, that is phi will be equal to 0 degrees. So tau will be equal to 0. So parallel to the plank of the door, if the force is applied, you won't be able to open or shut the door. So write the case 3. Write down, if the force is applied, parallel to the plank of the door, which is the radial component of the force, that is the angle between R and F. That is the angle between R and F is 0 degree. That is the angle between R and F is 0 degree. So tau will be 0. So tau is equal to 0. Hence the door cannot be opened. Due to the radial component of the force. Hence, the door cannot be opened due to the radial component of the force. Okay, so what all points we have noted? Tau is equal to R into F into sine phi. R should be more for maximum for more tau. So that is why the wrench has a long arm, okay, or the wrenches have long arms, so that R is more and the torque is more, easily it could be rotated. Okay, now here tau is equal to R into F into sine phi. If phi is equal to 90 degree, that is the angle between R and F is 90 degree. Okay, when you are applying the force perpendicular to the plank of the door, what is that component? What is that force called? It is the transverse component of the force, and due to the transverse component of the force, the torque is maximum. Okay, when you are applying perpendicular to R, it means that is the transverse component of the force, and due to transverse component, the tau is maximum. But if you are applying a force parallel to R, that is parallel to the plank of the door cannot be opened or shut Why? Because the tau due to radial component is 0. That is tau is equal to r into f into sine phi. The angle between r and f is 0 degree. So the tau will be equal to 0 degree. Okay. So this is about tau. One small definition here we'll study. Couple. Okay, couple is two equal and opposite forces acting at the two ends is called as couple. Okay, these two equal and opposite forces, they will try to rotate the body, and these two equal and opposite forces at the two ends, we call it as couple. Tau, like when you are opening or shutting the door, you are applying the force only in one direction. Okay, you don't hold the door like this and then open or shut it. Okay, but for example, when you are opening the lid of any the mouth of any bottle, lid of any bottle, you are applying the force from your thumb along one direction and from your fingers along the other direction. If this is clockwise, this will be anti-clockwise. So two equal and opposite forces are acting at the two ends, which will rotate the body. Then these two equal and opposite forces, we call it as couple. When we are opening or shutting the door, only with one hand we are opening or shutting the door. Okay, we are not holding with both the hands. That is, we are not applying the forces at the two equal and opposite forces at the two ends. Only with the one hand we are opening or shutting. That is tau. Couple means two equal and opposite forces applied at the two ends. So write down couple. Two equal and opposite forces, acting at the two ends, which rotate the body, is called as couple. Okay, these two equal and opposite forces is called as couple. Okay, so two equal and opposite forces which rotate the body is called as couple. Write down, for example, when we open the lid of a bottle, the two equal and opposite forces are applied by the thumb and the fingers in the opposite direction. Okay, now we come to angular momentum. Right, the next physical quantity which we are going to study is angular momentum. Okay, like linear momentum we have studied in linear motion. Okay, in a straight line motion, the momentum quantity of motion possessed, we call it as the linear momentum, which is equal to mass into velocity. But when the body is rotating, that is in rotational motion, the momentum possessed is called as the angular momentum. And this angular momentum is also called as moment of linear momentum. It is also called as moment of linear momentum. Okay, which is equal to angular momentum, we represented by L, which is equal to the linear momentum multiplied by the perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation. Linear momentum into perpendicular distance from axis of rotation. Okay, So angular momentum, which is also called as the moment of linear momentum, is equal to the linear momentum multiplied by the perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation. Okay, so P into perpendicular. So write down angular momentum is the product of linear momentum and perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation. Okay, then write its formula. P into perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation. Okay, now L is a vector quantity. So in vector form it is written as L vector is equal to R cross P vector. It is the cross product. It is the vector product of R and P vector. So in vector form, we can write it as R cross P vector. Okay, as it is the vector product, it means angular momentum is a vector quantity. So L is a vector quantity. That is, it has got magnitude as well as direction. It is a vector quantity which has got magnitude as well as direction. And what will be its direction? Direction will be perpendicular to the plane containing R and P vectors. Okay, it's a vector quantity, and write down its direction is perpendicular to the plane containing R and P vectors. Perpendicular to the plane containing R and P vectors. Okay, SI unit of L is SI unit of angular momentum is momentum kg meter per second, mass into velocity, mv kg meter per second into some distance meter square. So its SI unit is kg meter square per second. SI unit is kg meter square per second. Dimensional formula, dimension kg, mass m, meter square, length L square, okay, and time t raised to the power -1. So its dimensional formula is m L square t raised to the power -1. Okay, so angular momentum is moment of linear momentum. Okay, now here P into perpendicular distance, let's complete it. Then in vector form, R cross P vector, vector quantity, direction will be perpendicular to the plane containing R and P vectors. If R and P are lying in XY plane, L will be acting along Z axis. SI unit kg meter square per second, and this is its dimensional formula, ml square t raised to the power -1. Okay, now torque is also called as moment of force into perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation. Okay, so here you can write down torque is also called as moment of force. Like angular momentum is called as moment of linear momentum, and this is called as moment of force, moment, moment of force. Torque is also called as, because somewhere in some of the book you may find it as moment of force. Moment of force means it is the torque only. So moment of force is also called as torque. Okay, or where you have written torque in the bracket, you can write there is moment of force. It is also called as moment of force. Okay, now the same way as we have found out the torque in Cartesian coordinates, polar coordinates, the same way we'll find out angular momentum in Cartesian as well in polar coordinates. So angular momentum in Cartesian coordinates, in XY coordinates. Angular momentum in Cartesian coordinates. That is XY coordinates, we call it as. Okay, we know that angular momentum is r cross p vector. If r and p are lying in space, they can be resolved in three dimensions. R vector can be written as xi cap, yj cap plus z into k cap. The same way momentum vector in rectangular components in three dimensions, it can be written as component of the momentum along the x-axis px, I cap, py, j cap plus pz, k cap. Now L vector is r cross p vector, which we can find out by the determinant method. The first row I, j, k, second row the components of r vector along x, y and z, which are x, y and z. Second row, in the third row, the components of the linear momentum along x, y and z axis, which are px, py and pz. Simplify by the determinant method. I cap y into pz minus z into py. Y pz minus zpy minus j cap, leave this row, this column, x into pz minus z into px plus k cap, leave this row, this column, x into py minus y into px. Okay, the same way as we solve it, I cap ypz minus zpy minus j cap xpz minus zpx plus k cap xpy minus ypx. Okay, as r and p are in rectangular components, that is in the space, they can be resolved in three dimensions. So L vector can also be resolved in three dimensions. So L vector can be written as component of the angular momentum along x-axis. Okay, Lx I cap plus Ly j cap plus Lz k cap. This is equation number 2. This is equation number 1. Okay, from 1 and 2, find out the components of L vector. Compare these two equations, 1 and 2. Lx will be equal to this bracket term ypz minus zpy. Take this minus sign inside and then compare. Ly will be equal to zpx minus xpz. Okay, plus j cap, there it is. So here also it should be plus j cap. So take this minus sign inside and then compare. Okay, and Lz will be equal to xpy minus ypx. So comparing 1 and 2, we get Lx to be, that is the component of angular momentum along x-axis. Okay, as you can see here. Okay, as here it could be seen, this R and P are in YZ plane. So L you will get it in along x-axis. The same way, the component of the angular momentum along y-axis is Z Px minus X Pz. And the component of the angular momentum along z-axis is xpy minus y into px. Okay, so these are the components of the angular momentum and these are the expressions of the angular momentum in Cartesian coordinates. Hurry up, note it down. Okay, write down. Okay, write down. If R and P vectors, if R and P vectors are along or are in xy plane, then angular momentum is along z axis. Then angular momentum is along z axis. Okay, then tomorrow we'll find out the expression of angular momentum in polar coordinates.